Back to the fuckery with the only free MMA channel that fucking matters, Full-Time MMA. And notice I said fuckery instead of grind because we got some full-time Twitter finger fuckery going on. Yoel Romero and Luke Rockhold went at each other on Twitter, and I'm probably not going to read every response because I don't like doing the he said and then she said and then he said and then he said and then she said and then he said. If it's one fucking cold comment, I'll read that shit, but I'm definitely not about to read these dudes' whole back and forth. But what I will say is it was odd to me whenever Luke Rockhold was scheduled against David Branch September 16th instead of someone like Yoel Romero or Jacare. I was curious because these are, the guys that have been hanging around the top 5 of the division. So if you're trying to get back to the title, it seems like you would take a fight with one of these top guys instead of someone like David Branch. But Luke Rockhold is scheduled to fight David Branch on September 16th, and it turns out we know why it wasn't Yoel Romero now. So Yoel Romero is pretty much saying, he said, Luke Rockhold didn't want to fight me, so Bisping, you're up next. Luke Rockhold said, no, you're the pussy that didn't want to fight 5 rounds on September 16th. It was offered to you. Yoel said, then Yoel went on to tell him, like, they went on back and forth to call each other pussies pretty much. And Yoel, this is one thing I'll say what Yoel said, because I'm not going to read every fucking back and forth. They were just dissing each other back and forth. One of them, oh yeah, you got knocked out, oh you're a cheater, oh you have low pay-per-views, oh you're a model and an actor. But Yoel Romero said he was down to fight Luke Rockhold, but he wanted to wait 20 days after the 16th, so maybe there's another card coming up early November, and he said he'd fight that, which wouldn't have been a 5-round fight. If you get to fight Luke Rockhold if you get to fight Yoel Romero, a 5-round fight will benefit you because Yoel Romero tends to fade in the later rounds. So maybe Luke Rockhold was like, hey, I'll fight him in the 5 rounds, not the 3 rounds. Or maybe Luke Rockhold just wanted to fight on September 16th. He's not trying to wait an extra 20 days for you. So I don't know. I'm not taking either person's side on here. I'm just saying now we know why it's not Yoel Romero. Yoel Romero didn't, according to Luke Rockhold, didn't want to fight 5 rounds on the 16th, but Yoel said he would have took the fight 20 days later. And he's saying Luke Rockhold shouldn't be me out for wanting to wait 20 more days when he waited 14 months after taking a pillow punch from Michael Bisping. So he's like, what's 20 more days if you were already waiting 14 months? Why are you trying to rush me to fight on September 16th when you didn't want to fight me fucking, when you didn't want to fight for 14 months after you got taken out by Michael Bisping? So don't tell me I'm a pussy because I don't want to fight you for 20 more days. That's what Yoel is saying. And Luke Rockhold's like, ah ha ha, but you turned the fight down, so fuck you. So these guys were going back and forth. I'm not too entertained by the back and forth. I just didn't understand why Luke Rockhold was fighting David Branch over somebody like Jacare or Yoel Romero. Now we know why it's not Yoel Romero. Yoel Romero didn't want the 5-round fight on September 16th. Yoel Romero wanted the 3-round fight 20 days later, but Luke Rockhold didn't want to wait. So we got Luke Rockhold versus David Branch on September 16th, and it's probably going to be like Yoel Romero versus Jacare, a rematch. I think they've already fought once. Or I really don't think Yoel can get a title shot while we have an interim champion, or there would really be no point for an interim championship ever. If you get injured in your interim championship fight, you still get skipped. I don't think that's how it's going to work. So Michael Bisping won't be fighting Yoel Romero next. It's either going to be Robert Whittaker or a catchweight, I'm assuming. And since Michael Bisping was too injured to fight Yoel Romero whenever he fought Robert Whittaker, I'm assuming he's probably just going to be waiting and healing up and rehabilitating his injury until Robert Whittaker's ready. And it'll probably be Madison Square Garden. So with that being said, now we know why Yoel and Luke aren't fighting September 16th. It is what it is. Let the haters know what the fuck you think about this full-time Twitter fuckery in the comments. Dude. What's another name for female Viagra? Full-time MMA's voice. No, I'm just fucking around a diamond.